All right, let's do an art talk for all 21 of my subscribers, and all, was it now, 550 people on Instagram. I know that's not the true numbers by just the controversial nature of the stuff that I'm posting, that it shouldn't controversial. It shouldn't be controversial. It really shouldn't, to speak out the truth in the age of absurdity is now rebellion. Yeah, that's right. So therefore, I am a rebel. I'm just gonna eat some oatmeal here. Okay. I probably should have put less water in that. It sticks to your bones. But there's something that the younger generation doesn't understand, and again, citing the mouse utopia experiment, and then the patterns of the past, say like with the fall of the Roman Empire and other kingdoms, other empires, in which the continuous pattern of the fall of civilizations is usually, as previously stated or as well documented, is an influx of foreigners. It's excess of and availability, distribution of intoxicants. So bread and circus sort of stuff. A deluge of entertainment. So again, bread and circus. Decrease in intelligence. Control of the information, and then also an increase in homosexual tendency. I really don't care about your opinion. This is what I'm putting up there. This is the actuality of the history. Because when there's no children, there's no civilization, right? That's the way it goes. So here in Canada, we've had a long history of political satire, and it's something that's it's been weakened because the politicians of the moment don't really like to be mocked. They don't like face it. They don't like having the mirror held up to their face. So like I've done 3 drawings in the past 2 days, and I'm on fire. I'm loving it. Because as an artist, I cannot support certain policies, and as a historian, I can't get behind the actions and demonstration of will of certain people. And it's your job as an artist to stick it, just stick it, right? Honestly, sit on it, rotate. I don't care anymore. I've spent so much of my life trying to please other people. I'm done doing that. Trying to get something done. You can't get nothing done without burning some bridges or burning people. I just tried to avoid that for so long, but obviously, I can't act like that anymore. It's just not in the cards. In order to be a leader, you have to be disagreeable. And the 2 examples that I think of leadership, as far as the arts, and we're talking about like a different era, right? Before cancel culture, and before like Me Too. Not that I have a disagreement with Me Too. I just there's people out there that lie, and they get together for a conspiracy, and they tear people down. It's just the way it goes. This is part of one of the vulnerabilities of the legal system. So the two ones that I'm looking at right here will have to do with the era of terror. This isn't just an art talk. This is a hybrid, right? This also has to do with the history of propaganda. So the ones that I'm looking at are, of course, Charlie Hebdo. So this happened in 2015, and the other one is Theo Van Gogh. So if you're not familiar with Theo Van Gogh, I bought a book about the history and gave it to my friend's mother, whom was a principal in the school system here for years and years and years. Very intelligent woman. Then it was about his assassination and what led up to it. Now, Theo Van Gogh was a Dutch filmmaker, and so this is off of Wikipedia. Of course, good starting point, but don't trust it. You have to go back to the source material, because Wikipedia is a battleground for erasure of history and replacement with a false history. Whomever has an agenda to advance themselves and then burn the truth, because when we put things in front of the truth, then we don't have a society. We have enslavement, dystopia. All right. Okay, so let's go. Let's go down to because obviously, like, there's some people out there that the way that they think about things is it's not about how you live, it's about how you die. That sort of thinking. So him being assassinated, the reason why he was assassinated. Okay. And the reason why he was assassinated, he was murdered by Mohammed Bouyeri, a Dutch Moroccan Islamist who objected to the film's message because he was critiquing women in Islam. And radicals get very, very offended when you put the mirror in front of the face. And again, I respect my brothers and sisters in other religions, but if we can't critique each other and if we can't hold each other accountable, then none of us is godly, right? None of us is special under the eyes of the Creator. None of us. And if you don't believe, that's your choice, but I can't help you. You're gonna find your own path. You're gonna find it's a lot more difficult. Okay. So he was shot several times and had his throat slit while cycling to work on the 2nd of November 2004 at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Bouyeri also injured some bystanders and left a note pinned to Van Gogh's stomach with a knife containing death threats to Ayan History Ali. The note also threatened Western countries and Jews and referred to ideologies of the Egyptian organization Jamaat al-Muslimin. Okay, so the aftermath. They alleged that he was associated with the Hofstad network. So it's an Islamic terror group composed of mostly Dutch citizens. So 6 detainees were Dutch Moroccans, one was Dutch Algerian, and one had dual Spanish Moroccan nationality. The Dutch Complaints Bureaus for Discrimination on the Internet received many complaints about websites allegedly praising the murder and making death threats against other people. Now this echoes, what happened with Charlie Hebdo, a decade later, because with the influx of foreigners, you can't screen out the bad actors, right? There's good people and there's bad people everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you come from. It really doesn't. And sometimes the policies that are wrong, and even smart people in high positions make mistakes. They make deals on good faith with other people, and then they get burns, or they're manipulated and they can't make the proper decisions. There's a lot there's a lot of different factors when it comes to being in power. There's some things you can control, some things you can't. Because leadership is not about control; it's about leading, right, by example. So, the Charlie Hebdo 2015. So this is right around the Arab Spring, right? 2015, 2016. It started 2010. It says Arab Spring, anti-government protests. But okay, Syria. Wow, Syria, assassination of Gaddafi. He was killed on 20th October 2011. Was it really that long ago? Muammar Gaddafi. That's it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. I don't know about that one. This is death. A lot of references. Shitload of references. There we go. Yeah, okay, so that's the same guy I was looking for. There's a lot of issues there. I'm not going to get quite into it, but wow, time flies. It really does. So then Assad, right? Bashar al-Assad took power in Syria since the 17th of July 2000. That's a very long time to be a ruler. You might as well be a king. Ruler of Libya. That's something to look into. So just go to Charlie Hebdo, because so a lot of actors from lower sub-Saharan Africa and more southern, obviously there's a history there, say like from the Berlin Conference and colonialism, and resentments and exchanges, say like, or atrocities. Such as who was the Belgian king? Not the Belgian king. Congo. That's right, King Leopold. That guy was brutal, But I'm not going to impose modern day values on the past. I have no idea. I'm not well versed in this anymore. But legitimately, since Africa has had so many tribal battles and issues and fights over borders and groups and resources, there's been many civilizations that have come and gone through the continent that are not well defined, and the fact that a lot of it was oral tradition. The history is not very, unless you go and learn the languages. It's not well documented as well as it is for other civilizations. But with those factors, obviously the lack of education and intelligence goes with it as a pattern, not as an insult, right? So the higher degree of violence and whatnot by judgment, right? Just from data, because look what happened in Europe after the influx of the immigration crisis. What was it? African immigration crisis. This is from Khan Academy. So obviously from the equatorial regions, having to leave desert areas. But what do I know? So the push forward, obviously, through the Mediterranean northwards, there was some political motivations and reasons for that. Neighboring countries in the Arab worlds and Israel. It's the truth, right? So let's go back to Charlie Hebdo. So on 7th of January 2015 at about 11:30 a.m., two French Muslim terrorists and brothers Said and Sharif Kouachi forced their way into the offices of the French satirical weekly newspaper Charlie Hebdo in Paris, armed with rifles and other weapons. They murdered 12 people and injured 11. The gunmen identified themselves as belonging to the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, who took responsibility for the attack. Several related attacks followed the Ile-de-France region on I want to say it in French. 7 to the 9th of January 2015, including the hyper-caché kosher supermarket siege, where terrorists murdered 4 Jewish people. France raised its Vigipirate terror alert and deployed soldiers in Ile-de-France and Picardy. Major manhunt led to the discoveries of the suspects, who exchanged fire with police. The brothers took hostages at a signage company at the Martin en Goyle. Goyle, yeah. Goyle, that's interesting. On the 9th of January, 9 de janvier, and were shot dead when they emerged from the building firing. Okay, so the reason why, so background for the satirical works, we're reading this further. It was satirical weekly newspaper, reports, polemics. So what's a polemic? Just click that. It's a contentious rhetoric intended to support a specific position by forthright claims and to undermine the opposing position. The practice of such argumentation is called polemics, which are seen in argumentation on controversial topics. A person who writes polemics or speaks polemically is called a polemicist. The word derives from ancient Greek, warlike, hostile, from polemos. So it often concerns questions in religion or politics. As a polemic style of writing was common in ancient Greece, as the writings of the historians of Polybus. Okay. So a lot of satirists, a lot of physicists and mathematicians, different people, lots of different people. Let's not get too deep into that. Yeah. Okay, so the motive, as we know, considered worldwide, attracted, there was an attraction of worldwide attention because of its controversial depiction of Muhammad, hatred for Charlie Hebdo's cartoons, which made jokes about Islamic leaders as well as Muhammad, is considered to be the principal motive for the massacre. Michael Morrell, former deputy director of the CIA, suggested that the motive of the attackers was absolutely clear, trying to shut down a media organization that lampooned the Prophet Muhammad. In March 2013, Al-Qaeda's branch in Yemen, commonly known as Al-Qaeda on the Arabian Peninsula, released a hit in an edition of their English language magazine Inspire. The list includes Stéphane Charbonnier, Charbonnier, mentioned above in the article as Charlie Hebdo, editor who died in this shooting, and other whom AQAP accused of insulting Islam. On 9th January, AQAP claimed responsibility for the attack in a speech, yada, 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 yada. Top Sharia cleric Harith bin Ghazi al-Nadardi, citing the motive as revenge for the honor of Muhammad. Okay, so let's go to Canadian political satire. Okay, let's go to the history. So yeah, okay, so this is straight from Wikipedia. Go look at it yourself. So you think of Just for Laughs is one of the sightings here. Okay, mostly supported by the CBC. The ones that I remember the most are obviously the Royal Canadian Air Force, and this hour has 22 minutes. And then like the Red Green show. Red Green was, I think, it's Red Green American. Yeah, that's right. Then like Dangerous Dan. No, not Dangerous Dan's. What was it? Stunt. He was a stunt guy. It was a physical comedy. I forget what it is now. Anyways, okay, Wayne and Schuster. It's yeah. This hour has 7 days. Came before that. Rick Mercer report. Naturally. SCTV, Buzz, CODCO, Kodo. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting one. Kids in the hall, 4 on the floor. Bizarre, puppets who kill. Actually, I liked puppets who kill. It was hilarious. So, like, obviously, citing these things. I'm from another era, right? I come from in a time, place that honestly I believe needs to come back. There's other ones here. They cite comedy fairs such as Dramedy, Beachcombers, Due South, Made in Canada, Kenny vs. Penny, Chili Beach, Newsroom, Primetime Glick, The Red Green Show, La Petite Vie, Seeing Things, Trailer Park Boys, Supertown Challenge, Les Bourgeons, and Twitch City. Yeah, okay, so good enough. Let's look at the, Quebec, that's obviously where were the the Montreal Comedy Festival, if I remember correctly. So just for laughs, yeah. So like I'm gonna show you this stuff that I've done the past couple of days, because like, you know, if you can't kill people, you might as well make them laugh, right? And you know, obviously with the history of propaganda, you know, it's not queers that I have a problem with. It's the propaganda. You know, I have my issues with what happened to me, but that's nothing in comparison to other people. So I showed this on another video. So that's Justin Trudeau with Yagmeet Singh, his lapdog. The next one here is this Christina Freeland with Trudeau, right? And the last one that I've done, I did this one, Christina and Pierre Poilievre today. And I'm gonna do one for Elizabeth May and Maxime Bernier. Probably tomorrow. I've had enough today. You know, you can't do it all the time. You know, gotta take your breaks. You know, I only got one left arm. You know, so yeah, that's the way it goes. And you know, the offense culture, victimhood culture needs to disappear, because obviously it leads to manipulation, and I'm going to do my part in that with the continuation of these cartoons as much as I think about them, because you know, that's just life, man. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so we'll stick to it. What's someone else would say? Keep your stick on the ice, right? Hey, we'll see you next time.